Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm actually filming this a couple of days after I finished the project you're about to watch, but something happened to our video files and we lost the introduction, so I am wearing a different shirt than you're about to see me in, so I just wanted to explain that. But in this video I did a couple of different things. It was a really fun day. It was a hot day, but we got a couple of spruce trees planted out on the new property, and we just figured that if we just keep on planting just a little bit at a time, those plants will probably do better being in the ground than they are in their nursery containers, because it's so hot that some of these things we're having to water 2 and 3 times a day to keep them happy, because their containers just aren't big enough to keep them happy. Anyway, so that was kind of nice to get a couple of new things in the ground. And then I just wanted to talk with you guys about borage. It's an herb. Ours is looking really good behind our chicken coop, and I had my mom over to try out a couple of borage based cocktails. So anyway, that's what this video is all about today. I hope you guys enjoy it. So here it is. Remember this tree? It's called a Max Gold White Spruce. It grows about 20 feet tall, 15-foot spread. I love the structure of this tree. I think it's really, really pretty. I think it's going to be pretty with Christmas lights. And you can see where it's forming cones right here, which is so exciting. Did I already say it's zone 3? If I didn't, it is a zone 3, so very winter hardy. And it is a balled and burlap tree. You can see down here, even though it's in a container, it's just been sunk down in here with a little bit of soil around it, which makes it easier to take care of in a nursery setting. Must have been displayed next to some coreopsis, it looks like. Anyway, we're gonna have to get it out of this container and then cut away all of the string and the burlap around the top and such. So I'm gonna grab the tractor and get it over here. Erin is gonna come out here and help me. I think we're going to grab the auger and maybe try to soften up the area where we're gonna be digging the hole. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I kinda know where I want it. So anyway, let me go get the tractor. Okay, so it almost doesn't matter where we set these plants to put them in the ground because we have so much space out here. But we have a forest pansy redbud here, Corinthian linden here. There's no evergreen in this section yet. We did plant the other spruce from the same shopping trip right there. So of course it looks like it's leaning right now, but I think this is the spot where we're going to pop it in the ground. I think we're going to slide it out of this nursery container because I think this container makes it look enormous. I don't think we're going to need to do near as big of a hole as it looks like we're going to have to do. Oh yeah, that's way smaller. Did I bring anything to cut that with? Oh, yay. Perfect. Oh, that tree can breathe. Look at that. The trunk was wrapped all the way up to here, and it's kind of like more moist because the burlap, of course, holds on to moisture. So you can leave the burlap because it will just disintegrate in the soil. And I just make sure to cut off all of the rope or baling twine because this does not break down. Now, I think, from my understanding, is that you can actually leave it on the root ball portion, but you just need to make sure that there's nothing around the trunk to girdle the trunk. But I like to remove it all the way. I like to not leave any of it in the soil if possible. That makes me feel better, just seeing it like that. Yeah, we can put it just right around the tree. In the ground and watered in. Doesn't that look awesome? Erin, Christmas lights.
Oh yeah.
Hey, won't that be cute out here? We're gonna have a lot of extension cords, like running to random trees. So now I need to run drip to it. So I'm just gonna tap into the 3/4 inch water feed line we have right there. And I'll bring do you think 1/4 inch is too long of a run? We could try it. If it doesn't seem to be flowing good enough, we can add in a 1/2 inch line.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we'll put in a 1/4 inch line, we'll run it here, and then just do a loop of the brown 1/4 inch with emitters every 6 inches. So here's my 1/4 inch black poly that's solid. I've got a couple of couplers, a straight one on the ground, and a T. Got my Felcos, my brown drip tube, and then I'm gonna use this landscape staple to punch my hole in the 3/4 inch line. Hopefully that works. Perfect. Use what you got. Put my tea in right here, and then we're gonna run a loop up the brown. And that should do it right there. Now, how often do you have these running? And you have them
every day.
Every day, because they're all brand new trees and it's so darn hot. So this will get water every day. We'll come out and check on it. I do think we're gonna have to stake it because the B&B trees are never really very tight, like in their own root ball. They seem to want to rock a little bit. Maybe because we get so much wind, I anticipate this one kind of cruising this direction. So we'll probably have to stake it back that way. We'll deal with that though when we get there. Look at that. So these emit 1/2 gallon per hour. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of these around the tree. So it will get plenty of water. And I think the most important thing to know, well, Aaron's going to deep water it just for the first little bit here, but the most important thing, especially out here where it gets so hot, is to make sure not to pull your tubing so tight that when the water turns on and off, that it pulls the tubing off, because it tends to constrict, like it expands and then it reduces in size based on heat and if the water's cold and that sort of thing. So we just make sure there's a little bit of slack in the line there. That is a sweet little tree. I love it. I've got a spruce that I bought last spring, Aaron.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we still have it in a nursery can, so I think it would be good to pop it somewhere out here. Severe root bound problem here. Look at this. I mean, there's still a little bit of soil in there, but this has been in the container for I don't know how long. I know I've had it for over a year. So we're gonna rough up this root ball pretty good. I even cut it and even slit it in some spots like that. That looks nice. This is a Ruyter Serbian spruce. So it's got the nice bicolor blue and green, kind of like the one we planted right over there, which was blue sky, I think. This one only grows 10 by 8. So it's kind of a smaller specimen evergreen, hardy to -30, which is a good thing. We have to be a little bit careful about what we plant right along this roadway here, because all of our neighbors' trees, which are gorgeous, by the way, such a beautiful borrowed view right there, borrowed landscape. Anyway, they shade this area in the winter, and this spot stays icy and frigid for a lot longer than like from here over. So this will be a good one, I think. All right, this one is in the ground. This one is much more solid. I don't know that we're gonna have to stake this one because this one was already rooted into its can, I guess. I don't know, there's just such a difference. But I think this is gonna be wonderful. We've got an Autumn Brilliance service berry right there. I had planted, you guys might even remember, a Stewardshia, I don't even know how to pronounce that tree right here. I'd had it since last spring. It was kind of like when we took it out of the can, the root ball kind of stunk. So I think it was on its way to rotting, and it clearly hasn't loved it here. So I actually think it's a perfect location to put a big blue spruce. We've got a Katsura tree there, a black lace elderberry. I'd love to put a big blue spruce. Then we'll have the Autumn Brilliance and other stuff in between. And then this Ruyter spruce, the red fox Katsura, and then the blue sky spruce. It is kind of hard with this big of a space. We want it to be full like right away, but I know the mature sizes on a lot of these things get really big. Like the Katsura tree gets 40 feet wide. The Scotch pine gets 30 to 50 feet wide, I think, or 20 to 30 feet wide. That was an exaggeration, just a tad. Anyway, they all get pretty good size, and I don't want to overplant it. So I feel like going slow a little bit and just kind of adding in things that we really like. You know, it's not, we don't have to have it all done in a year.
Yeah.
This is the long-term plan, long-term area. Anyway, let's head up to the borage. Okay, so now I want to talk about borage, which is an annual herb that reseeds itself. It's a wonderful plant that likes full sun. I wouldn't call it aggressive. It reseeds itself in the area where you put it, And if you don't pull, well, you know, where it's reseeded, those plants will then reseed themselves. And so eventually it'll kind of crawl itself around an area, but they're very easy to pull up. So you can either pull them like they're weeds and feed them to your chickens if you have chickens. Chickens love it. You can dig them up and give them to friends. Just give them a warning that they do like to reseed themselves. I really like to have them around though, because they're a really beautiful plant. They are a little scratchy, like a little Velcro-y on their leaves and stems, but they produce star-shaped blooms in like a really beautiful periwinkle blue and pink on the same plant. And they're edible, so they taste slightly like cucumbers, and you can use them in decorating desserts, which is fun. I mean, because those colors are perfect for desserts. Or you can use them, like in today we're going to try out a couple of cocktails, and my mom is actually here to help us with that. But I don't think that there's anything else about that plant, except for I know that it has been used medicinally for lots of different things. I think I should Google that. And my mom, have you ever used it in some kind of like poultice? It seems like something you would do.
Yeah, well, actually I have, but I also love it in the garden because it attracts beneficials.
A lot of beneficials. Oh, here comes Benjamin. Oh, hey bud. What'd you get? A truck?
A truck and a cookie.
Very nice. Well, we've got our table set up. Let me show you guys.
Pretty.
So what I did with the borage, this is the borage element. Let me explain really quick, because I did film this part. I created 2 different types of simple syrup for the 2 different drinks that we're gonna have. This is for our sparkling borage cocktail, which we will be enjoying in these beautiful cut crystal martini glasses. And then for our herbal garden gimlet, this simple syrup was made with basil and a lot more borage than was used for this one. Isn't that crazy? Far less borage used in this simple syrup, but isn't that interesting, the color difference? So I took 1 cup of water, 1 cup of sugar, got it to boil, took it off the heat, and then put ½ cup of borage flowers in it, let it steep for an hour, and then I strained it into this and put it in the refrigerator. For this simple syrup, I put 1/4 cup of water and 1/4 cup of sugar. The recipe actually calls for honey for this one, but I don't care for honey.
Yeah, I love it.
You like honey in there?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I would have left it.
Well, but I like sugar too.
So yeah, 1/4 cup water, 1/4 cup sugar, and then 1½ cups of borage leaves and 1/3 cup of torn basil leaves. So that one is definitely more potent than this one here.
Is this my birthday present?
No, I actually picked that. My mom has a bunch of these, and I have candle holders that look just like that, but I've never had the bowls.
No.
So when Erin and I went to Boise yesterday, I saw it and I had it for you, and then I found something that I think you'll like better because you already have a bunch of those.
Yes, but you can never have enough.
So let's look at the rest of our table really quick. We are going to enjoy our herbal garden gimlets in these beautiful cups.
So pretty.
Do you know what the style of that one's called?
I don't, but I wouldn't mind having some of those.
I thought you already had some.
Not like that.
Oh. And then we'll have our sparkling borage in these. This is what happens to basil if you cut it in 100-degree heat, but we need some of this for one of our recipes. There's our shaker. We're going to need a knife. I'm going to use this spoon to muddle basil. We use limes, I think, in both of these. Do we use limes in both? Yeah, we do. We've got the Botanist gin, and then we've got elderflower liqueur.
Yeah.
Liquor. And then I've got an ice bucket with my fancy pants plastic scoop. And then we have a little bit of club soda as well. So I think we should start I want to start with the herbal gimlet. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to mix 1½ ounces of gin with 2 tablespoons of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of borage syrup, which is this one right here. And then we're going to muddle 6 basil leaves in with the lime and the syrup, and then we do a splash of club soda on the top. I also made ice cubes with borage flowers in them for both of these drinks. Anyway, here we go.
The chair?
See, look inside of it.
Isn't that cool, buddy?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, did you just lick it? Do you like it?
Yes. And I'm trying now. It's so good.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's so good.
It is so delicious.
Oh, you want to have some?
Yes.
Eat some of it.
Ooh, that is so sour.
No, it's...
So the funny thing is that I called my mom today, who's holding the camera right now. So don't you look away with the camera. I called her earlier today and said, hey, do you want to come up and try a couple of cocktails with me? And we agreed that she was going to come up right before dinner, I don't know, 4:35ish or something like that, and come have cocktails. You know what time she showed up for cocktails? 2.
It's
Because it's hot, Laura.
It is hot.
And I needed a break.
It is yummy, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 tablespoons of our lime juice, 2 tablespoons of our borage syrup, and then we're going to do 6 basil leaves, and then I'm going to muddle them with this. Muddle.
That smells great.
And then we add our gin, which we do 1.5 ounces of gin. And then ice. All right, and then we shake this for 30 to 60 seconds.
Really
I could have probably done a better job muddling the basil, but there's quite a bit of basil in the simple syrup.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't get quite enough water in there to make it a complete sphere, but that's okay.
Oh, you got it. Oh, that's so pretty.
The borage is all at the bottom, so there's that.
Oh,
Is it good?
Oh.
I'm supposed to splash some club soda on top. You want some club soda on top?
I don't think there's room, but you know what? It's just great the way it is.
Look at how pretty these are. Ow.
Absolutely beautiful.
But we floated a basil leaf and a borage flower on the top.
That's so summer.
Isn't
It's
that
so summer and
so fun? Ooh.
Isn't that delicious?
Ooh, that's good.
It's a keeper.
Yeah. It's
Isn't
like
that
lightly
good?
floral, which I'm not a huge floral.
Right.
It just has like a, what is it? Like a borage flavor. Yeah, this one, not only is it beautiful, especially if you get yourself the spherical ice
And
molds.
this glass.
Yeah, and the glass, really pretty. We'll link everything down below, including the recipes, because these are not my original recipes. I found these online. Except I did sub sugar for honey, and I'm kind of glad I did. Do you think you would like honey in this still?
I'd like them equally.
And it's nice having this big old ice cube in here. Keeps it nice and chilled on
does.
this 100, what is it today?
About 105,
100
is it?
and, I don't know. Yeah, we're just right at 100 degrees
That
today.
feels false.
Yeah, false information. It does
False.
feel hotter than that. Okay, so the next one we're going to make, sparkling borage, has the less potent simple syrup here. It's beautiful though. Isn't that a pretty color? That kind of mint green. What are you doing over there?
What happened to my ice cube?
Did you just break it apart?
No, it just fell apart. But that's good. I got more access to the borage.
Good. So this is going to be 1.5 ounces of gin, 1/2 ounce of the elderflower liqueur, 1/2 ounce of the simple syrup, a squeeze of lime, and club soda. So the next cocktail is similar, but it will exclude basil and include elderflower liqueur. So it'll have a little bit more of a floral, I think, bouquet
Yeah.
about it.
Good wording.
Good wording. I know, we're so good at this. I mean, look at our attire. I put this table together with like all the crystal and the nice tablecloth and yeah.
And I came straight from work.
Well, and I've got my Philadelphia Flower Show shirt on from 2017, and one I ripped a hole in last night. This is day 2 on this shirt. Anyway, the process is pretty much the same, except for I'm not going to be muddling anything in the shaker because I don't have any basil for this one. So anyway, we'll get this one made and give it a try. Oh, it is pretty. Okay.
So pretty.
Moment of truth. Tell me what you think of this one.
Okay. This is good.
Is it as good as the last one?
It's different.
A different?
It's different.
Wildly different?
Because you can taste that elderflower.
Really? Should I cut down the elderflower a little bit?
Nope.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna make another one. so here's the sparkling borage. I did mine a little bit different after I tasted Mom's. That's the first one that I made, and I did it the proper ratios based on the recipe. But since I don't like floral quite as much, I went very scant on the elderflower and used more lime. So I probably did, what, you think, like half elderflower and double the lime at least?
Most.
And I think I added, let's see, it calls for a half ounce of the syrup. I used a full ounce of the syrup.
Yeah.
So it's a tiny bit sweeter.
It's perfect. Both of them are perfect. Yeah.
So what do you think, like weekly appointment?
I think at least.
We should do a new type of herbal cocktail once a week.
Yes.
Maybe not 2 in a row.
No, but at least one. At least one.
It was just so fun. I got carried away because I read both of those recipes and I don't know, they both sounded so good. So anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. Maybe next time we'll have some misters installed above us.
Yeah.
It is quite warm out here, but these are very refreshing. I hope
Yes,
you guys
they are.
enjoyed just seeing a couple of things that were a little bit different today. It was nice to plant a couple of things out on the new property and then try borage out in a different way. I've never tried it in a cocktail before. I've always wanted to. We've used it in desserts.
Yes.
Salads. What else have you used it in?
The soup.
Soup, cucumber
Yeah.
soup, like a
Yeah.
cool cucumber soup, and you can put borage on the top. It's just a really fun
It
thing,
is.
and I think it's an underused herb and an underused plant really in the garden. I really enjoy having it. And you've got a bunch out in your
I
garden.
do. I
Yeah.
do. It's beautiful, and the beneficials are just attracted to it.
Yeah.
Like unlike any other thing.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I will link the recipes down, or maybe we'll either link them or write them out down below, and we'll link everything I used. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.